a little while ago, unfortunately, I was being a bit of a sinful servant of God, and I allowed my desires to take control of me, and let's just say I became a little bit of a hoe, right? So I decided to, start messing around with girls here and whatever. And I started messing around with this one girl, right? And this one girl, her and I were together, right, in bed, whatever. We did our thing. And then after things were done, we were just like playing around. Let's just say my hand was in a location that God would not approve of, right? So it was just, it was playing around. And then this girl got a message from a guy, right? And she told me this guy was seeing her and, he, not seeing her as like dating or husband or whatever, right? Seeing her as like casually, he had feelings for her. Like he had strong feelings for her, right? She told me this and he admitted it and whatever. He had strong feelings for her and they started texting, right? And I'm just chilling there, bro. I'm like, I finished my deed and I'm just zoning out into the sky, just thinking about life. Thinking like, fuck, bro, what am I doing here? God created me for better than this. So she starts texting the guy and then I put my hand in a forbidden location like it was before. And then the girl texts the guy that specifically. She texts the guy, bro, before I used to be so vulgar with the words and I just throw around, but I kind of want to be like a bit more professional and less vulgar. So you can imagine it, right? My hand is in a forbidden location, and while it's playing around, the girl is literally texting the guy that's madly in love with her. A guy has his hand on my thing, right? And you know what this guy says? This guy, I'm looking at the phone, right? Just like I'm having fun. I'm just curious. I'm looking at the phone, and this guy says, OMGGG, like, oh my God, with like the multiple G's. And that's feminine enough already, right? He says, oh my God, that's so hot. At that moment, that's when I knew this testosterone crisis has gone too far. This testosterone problem has gone too far. So I'm not going to allow you to end up like that, motherfucker. I'm not going to allow you to end up like him. Here are 3 ways to ensure your testosterone does not fucking crash to the bottom like that guy. The guy probably has like 2 nanograms. Anyways. Number 1, and this one is kind of indirectly related to testosterone, and it's your androgen receptor activity. What androgen receptor? Well, this guy's nerding. What the hell's going on? He's nerding out on fucking androgen receptors. Relax, let me explain. Androgen receptors. What are androgen receptors? So you have your testosterone molecule, right? But your testosterone molecule, it doesn't get activated just by floating around in your bloodstream. It has to bind to something. This something is called the androgen receptor, right? When your testosterone molecule binds to your androgen receptor, that's when you see the effects. So if you have 1 billion testosterone, but nothing to bind it to, you're gonna look like fucking Barbie, okay? Unless you have the androgen receptors, your testosterone levels are practically useless. So what do? You can raise the amount of androgen receptors in your body and also increase the androgen receptor sensitivity. So let me tell you what doing both of these does to your body. So let's say you increase the androgen receptors. Say you have 1,000 testosterone, which is crazy unrealistic unless you do a bunch of things. Say you have 1,000 testosterone, right? And then you have 300 androgen receptors. Only 300 of your testosterone will be activated and you will have like the effects of 300 nanograms per deciliter of testosterone. But let's say you have 1,000 testosterone and you have 700. Now 700 are activated. Now say you have 1,000, which is a 1-to-1 ratio of testosterone to androgen receptor. Now all of them are activated and you have the effects of like the full maximized effects of testosterone. So that's what you can do by raising the amount of androgen receptors. Now you can raise the amount and you can raise the sensitivity. So by raising the sensitivity, I mean, think of it like this, right? You have the testosterone molecules and then you have the magnets. These magnets are the androgen receptors. So if you increase the amount of magnets that, attract the testosterone molecule, that would be good. You would have more effects of testosterone. But let's say you increase the amount of magnets and you also increased how powerful the magnets were. This means the testosterone molecules that were now here, that they had to be here to get attracted to the androgen receptor. Now they can be here, right? So this is what people mean by increasing androgen receptor sensitivity. I explained it to you in a normal, like nerdy way, just so you can kind of understand. But it goes a lot deeper than this, but this is how it generally works, right? So you have the magnets, which is the androgen receptor, and you have the testosterone, right? Many analogies. You can think of it as like a key in a lock. You have no locks to unlock the door. How are you going to go through it, right? But the best way to think of it is just, you know, like the magnets and the testosterone. It's like they have to go together. If you have none, your testosterone is useless. Again, guys, you could have 1 billion testosterone, but if you have no androgen receptors, you're gonna look like fucking, like I said, Barbie. So you have to increase your androgen receptor amount and your androgen receptor sensitivity. Now, how do you do this? The androgen receptor amount and sensitivity can be increased by different ways, but I will give you one of the most effective ways. The most effective way, one of them, is lifting heavy. Now, I know you've heard this many times and you just don't know why. Let me explain why. If you know how the cell looks like, you have the cytoplasm in the cell, which is basically the fluid of the cell, right? Almost the blood of the cell, or like water, just water in the cell. This is where your androgen receptors lie, inside the cytoplasm of the cell. Now, when you lift heavy, you induce something called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which means the cytoplasm. Listen, I'm not going to go too deep into this, right? But basically, when you lift heavy, you increase the androgen receptor sensitivity. They become more prone to picking up on more testosterone levels, more testosterone molecules, and you increase the androgen receptor amount because the cytoplasm of the cell increases, especially if you're taking creatine and you're bulking and bulking healthily, by the way. You're really increasing your strength and everything. That's why people tell you to, all the time you hear people saying lift heavy to increase testosterone. Why? Because it increases the cytoplasm in the cell, which is where your androgen receptors lie. You increase the value of that. You increase how much water is in that, the more androgen receptors you will have, especially in muscle cells, right? So increasing cytoplasm, the cytoplasm of muscle cells is called the sarcoplasm. That's why if you ever like go into nerdy bodybuilding YouTubers or forums, you hear sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is when the cytoplasm of the muscle cell starts growing, right? It starts growing more fluid, which means more androgen receptors are there. And not only that, but because you're lifting, there's a greater propensity for androgen receptor sensitivity. So it just attracts more. Enough of this nerdy talk. Basically, to increase your androgen receptor amount and sensitivity, go and fucking lift heavy. Even if you're cutting, bro. Okay, even if you're cutting, try to include at least some kind of heavy lifting, whether it be on the bench press or on like big movements, right? You could do deficit deadlifts. You could even try doing squats on cuts. I know lifting heavy on cuts is hard, and I'm cutting right now, right? If you couldn't tell by the leaner face than my older videos, you just try and lift heavy, bro. Some kind of exercise, whatever it is, some kind of exercise that really taxes you. So lift heavy. Number 2, lack of cholesterol. You know what the government tells you, bro? The government tells you cholesterol is bad for you. Cholesterol hurts you. Cholesterol destroys you, right? Now, you and I can agree that weaker people in general are easier to control, are easier to manipulate, are easier to like herd around. So you and I can agree that the government wants weaker men, right? And the government pushes the message that cholesterol is bad for you. High levels of cholesterol is bad for you. Can you tell me, my friend, what is testosterone made of? The base derivative, right? What is testosterone derived from? So there's a molecule here, there's something here, and then out of this thing, testosterone is built in your body. Do you wonder what it is? Because I did for a while, and the answer is the exact molecule that the government tells you not to fucking consume a lot of. Oh, it's cholesterol. Wow, how coincidental. So, you have low cholesterol levels, which means you have low testosterone production levels. And this is catastrophic for you. I'm going to give you like a little challenge here right now. It's a little actionable step, right? 3 hours before you go to sleep, go and drink a couple of raw eggs. 6 raw eggs. Go drink 6 raw eggs. First of all, don't come at me with the salmonella claims. I give you full permission to go for it, bro. 1 in 20,000 eggs are infected with that shit. And besides, even if you do get infected, it's so overrated. Oh my god, salmonella. Salmonella is basically like a fucking tummy ache where you get diarrhea and that's it. Move on. Grow the fuck up, bitch. What? Oh my god, I'm so scared of some. Bro, I got schmovid 17 times. Nothing happened to me. It's just like, have confidence in your immune system, bro. I swear to God, like our ancestors used to go hunting in the swamps and like they would literally drink like mud water that crocodiles would shit in. And they'd get sick, but they'd just move on. Oh, what? I'm not telling you like go purposely get sick, man, but have some confidence in your immune system. Fuck me. So go drink those 6 raw eggs, drink them, and I dare you when you try and go to sleep, not get an erection. You see like physical proof of your testosterone levels skyrocketing. Your morning wood the next morning will be twice as strong and it will last twice as long. You have physical symptoms of your testosterone levels skyrocketing when you have cholesterol. So now you're going to tell me, how do I increase cholesterol levels? Couple of foods you can have: eggs, butter, none of the seed oil, vegetable oil garbage. And I'll explain in the third point. Steak with the fat, right? Steak with not lean, not super lean steak, right? There's still fat on the side. You know how there's like fat on the sides of the meat? You keep that and you eat that. Fats are like filled with cholesterol, and that's gonna fucking raise your testosterone levels. So these three will skyrocket your cholesterol amounts in the body, and it will also skyrocket your testosterone production. Don't neglect these three. These three especially are really good, especially eggs, bro. Eggs are jam-packed with nutrients. If I could pick a superfood, one superfood, it'll be eggs. Holy shit, man. That eggs raise like little chicks into colossal chickens and snakes. Same with ants and crocodiles and all this, right? Keep in mind, those three are very, very good for you. Number 3, and is the consumption of vegetable oils. Vegetable oils, sunflower oils, soybean oils, corn oils, these are all vegetable oils, right? And did you know that these vegetable oils were used as fucking industrial lube? You know, when you go to these factories that like have huge gears and huge like smoke coming out, you know the vegetable oil that you eat and you cook your shit in, yeah? You cook your eggs and you cook your, hopefully you're not cooking your eggs now after this, right? You're cooking your meat, or maybe your parents that have been unfortunately brainwashed, but we love them. We can't do anything about it unless we try and educate them, right? They're putting like the industrial lube. Yeah, let's have some industrial lube with our ground meat. They put that shit inside the fucking food you make and you eat industrial lube. Vegetable oils, sunflower oils, corn oils, soybean oils, all this shit. These are endocrine disruptors and they destroy your system in 2 main ways that I'll tell you right now. The first is the imbalance of omega-6 fatty acids and omega-3. You've heard omega-3 is good for you, take omega-3 supplements, fish oil. You've heard this many times, but you don't know why. It is because most of the time, you're eating fucking omega, like the vegetable oils you put, they are so high in omega-6. And when you have omega-6 and like a high ratio of omega-6 versus omega-3, your whole hormonal system fucking goes like this. It's just shuts down and messes up, right? It just fucks with your hormonal system. You can't have an imbalance of omega-6 and omega-3. And the thing is, omega-6 is fat soluble, which means you can't piss it out, right? It dissolves in your body and you can't, like it dissolves in your fat, sorry, and you can't piss it out. So you get the extreme amounts of omega-6 in your body and it just fucks your hormonal system. That's why people tell you take omega-3 supplements, bro, because the Western diet mainly, or not even Western, I remember I used to have this back home in the East. Vegetable oils. I would see like my mother cook with vegetable oils. Oh, vegetable oils. Oh, nice. And I would say, why not butter? Butter tastes better. Oh, butter is bad for you, Ali. Don't eat butter. They were all brainwashed, man. It's so unfortunate. But, and I ate industrial lube as a child, man. Maybe this is why I didn't grow to 6 foot. The second way is these vegetable oils are polyunsaturated acids, fatty acids, right? Compared to butter, which is monosaturated. What this means in simple terms is poly means many, mono means one. This means there are many like double bonds, many types of double bonds inside the vegetable oils, which in basic terms causes electron imbalances and it just fucks up your hormonal system. You have the double bonds that just fuck, this is chemistry shit. You have the double bonds that just fuck up your hormonal system, ruin you, you go all over the place with your endocrine system, which is the system that produces testosterone, right? The endocrine system is the system that produces all your hormones. It just fucks up your endocrine system, and among them is your testosterone levels. It plummets, gone, depths, fucking Barbie doll. Oh my god, you're getting fingered by another guy? That's so hot. What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? How much, like... Anyways, so stop with the vegetable oils, stop with the seed oils, start cooking your food in butter. There's so much brainwashing, man. You're literally eating industrial lube, industrial lubricant. Fucking... it's crazy how much brainwashing people have been, you know, put through. And, you know, some people might call me schizophrenic. If they were educated enough to learn, then maybe they wouldn't. But in the end, you know, it's our health and we can't really compromise in that. People can call us whatever they want, bro, but this is You know, you see the effects of this shit happening in the world. You see testosterone levels plummeting. You see infertility skyrocketing. You see these endocrine disruptors, the vegetable oils, causing infertility because it's fucking up your endocrine system. You see the low cholesterol levels causing your sperm to like come out deformed, sperm motility. You know, some people's sperm can't swim. Like they ejaculate, right? They have sperm, but it can't swim. Their sperm literally, like, you know how there's the head and the tail? The tail doesn't move, like it can't swim. It's because they don't have sperm motility. This shit is fucking people. But hey, I guess we're schizophrenic. It is what it is, man. So these are 3 ways that plummet your testosterone levels. 3 ways you're crashing your testosterone levels. And I also gave you the 3 ways to combat them, right? The first one was increasing androgen receptor sensitivity. And most of you already probably have that taken care of, which means you lift, but start lifting heavier, man. Start lifting in like the strength range, right? So 1 to 5. I don't know, it builds like 5% less muscle, but you have 30% more testosterone. So the net profit of actual muscle growth is that you do gain more muscle. That's what these studies don't tell you. Oh my God, hypertrophic rep range is 6 to 12 increase in muscle mass. But by increasing your testosterone, by going at a lower level, you indirectly increase your muscle mass, right? So there's that. You know, there's the first one. Second one is eat more fucking eggs. Basically, eat more eggs, have more cholesterol, have more butter, steak. And third is stop with the endocrine disrupting vegetable oils. Okay, half of you are already infertile. No, not really half. A third of you, okay? And it is repairable. The good thing, though, is it is repairable. And I'm embarking on a journey to help those who need it. Take care, bro.